configuring the batteries. If you're really curious or wondering how these batteries going to be daisy chained or configured at a 12, 24, 48 volts configuration or 36 volt configuration, this is what you're going to do. So in a 12 volts, we just have all these batteries tied, all the positive together, all the negatives together gives you a 12 volts. It's going to give us an 80 amp on these, since these batteries are 10 amp each. Okay, it's 8 batteries, give us 80 amps. So on 24 volts, we're going to tie from here to here, excluding this guy right here. These two, you have the positive here, you have a negative here. That gives us the 24 volts. For 36 volts, we add one of these bus right here. Okay, these are for beginners. And tie this guy and remove this guy here. So we have 3 batteries tied together. So negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, and positive here. This is where the lead gonna go to your inverter or to your disconnect, your breaker. So this one goes to your ground, which is the negative, or if you're using the bus bars. So this is a 36 volts configuration right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 48 volts, you will see you add one more of these batteries, bus bar. By adding this bus bar, increase the voltage. So we have 12, 24, 36, 48 volts configuration. So this is what happened. You have to be careful with batteries. So when I was trying to set up these batteries, and this bus bar end up falling and touch one of the other guys, see what happened here? And if you can see it, it's a little bite right there on this thing and burn the bus bar. And you can see the terminal right here. When it arc, it burns this one here. So, but this one is just a corrosive material from the thing which battery hookup mentioned. So like a kind of thing which they file off. And you have to be careful. This is what happened. See, almost burnt this terminal right here because of this bus bar. Which one? Yeah, this one. I don't know if you can see it properly. See what happened? Chew the bus bar. Really bad. Well, not too bad, but it took a chunk out of it. So that's why this mark wasn't here. If you watch the first video, it just happened because you touch one of the terminals and the arc. So this is for 48 volts configuration. You have these batteries here. Then you can have a jumper, positive to positive. Then you come back here, negative to negative. When you do this way, then you already use the full potential, because right now on a 48 volt, it's only 48 volt at 10 amps each string. So when we parallel this guy here, positive to positive here to positive, and negative here to negative, then you create a 20 amp battery at 48 volt. Because you series, the voltage goes up and the amperage stays the same. So this one at 48 volts is a 10 amp, but it's very efficient, more than have this on a 12 volt. 24 volt, 12 volts is higher the amperage, the voltage stays the same. 36 volts, the voltage goes up, the amperage stays the same. When you go 48 volts, the amperage goes up, the voltage goes up, the amperage stays the same. So here is a 10 amp, there is a 10 amp at 48 volts. We put a jumper right here, positive to positive, negative to negative. So we can take one side from here, drawing the power from this side, and here, the opposite sides. Then that we will deplete the battery that way, or discharge the battery this way, discharging and charging them. If we want to go through this one doesn't go through a BMS if you use this buses, right? This terminal right here. So you can put a 50 amp continuous, 50 amp out, okay? But we can able to go through this on a BMS, a 48 volt. We can hook up, maybe you have a bus bar. Let me say something of this nature. If you have something of this nature, is a big bus bar. It has all interconnect. I bought from my favorite store. Then I can able to, since it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 of those, I can able to get a 10 batteries configuration. So I can take all the negatives, tie them into that thing, and all the positives and tie it to the other bus of that. And we can charge this battery simultaneously, and we can discharge this battery simultaneously, and it's going to be drawing exactly the same. It's going to be balanced exactly the same. So here you can tap on these guys here, and you can able to charge on this side. See, that's how corrosive this one is, kind of a little bit clean. I think that's how they were using them, or that's how they took them out from the whatever, a car or anything, or medical cart. So yeah, that's why that had a corrosive thing on it, and just have to clean them. If you read the specs, battery hookup will tell you exactly what it is. So the energy is 228 amp hours, watt hours, sorry, at 12.8 volts, which is a nominal voltage, 10 amps. You can go about 13.5 on this. That's why they were all sitting 13.5, 13.65, 13.4. Two of them only 13.4. So these are the batteries. This is how you connect them, because it's really hard for you to switch it the other way unless you use a wire, because if you go the opposite direction, for you to have the positive to the positive here, you see now the jump is going to be right here. So this guy is on the way. So unless you use like a, you know, wires that you want to use, like welding cables or whatever to do the interconnect, you want to do a parallel here to here, this to this to this, then you have to do all the negatives and all that stuff. The positive is going to be shorter, the negative is going to be longer if you decide to go that route. But these are the batteries, and you can set them up in a different configuration. You can lay them flat, you can lay them horizontal, you can lay them vertical, either or, it works. So this, why I set them right now, is a 48 volt configuration. So if this would have been flat without this bridge right here, I can just put this bus bar just like this and interconnect here and get all the positives tied and all the negatives tied. You're not gonna have any arc. So if you have a negative here, a positive here, there's gonna arc. But all the negatives and all the positives, the power flow. So you building a 20 amp battery here with a 48 volts. All right. So this is the best way I can explain it to you. If you have any difficulties, you can send me a message back on the description below or whatever on the comment below, and we can discuss about it. So want to read back, maybe you can go back into reliable or relionbattery.com for more you want to know. Thanks for watching. Love you guys all. Stay tuned for more to come live from this channel. JW Solar USA. Love you guys all. Bye for now.